The following opinions are solely those of BoatTest.com and its test captain.
Hi, I'm Steve for BoatTest.com, and today we're going to conduct a sea trial and full inspection of a versatile cruiser from Riviera, the 575 SUV. As the name implies, she's got a lot of utility that allows her to cross over from a luxurious cruiser to a strong offshore fishing rig and then back again just as easily. Let's start with a look at her features. Overall, she's got a masculine look that we find appealing. The extended brow over her windshield, along with the hardtop and its extension covering the aft deck, both certainly add to this effect, and both are features that seem to define the brand. The 4-foot swim platform on our test boat was hydraulic and included a set of cradles for holding a small rib. Launching was just a matter of lowering the platform into the water and floating the tender. Retrieval is equally easy. A hatch to the starboard side conceals a 3-step reboarding ladder, and we'd like to see grab handles to assist with the reboarding. The cockpit is entered from a door to the starboard transom, and it latches when opened. A hot-cold shower is right at the entry, so we can rinse off before entering. Once inside, there's plenty of open real estate for entertaining, and seating starts with an aft bench seat upholstered in weather-resistant ultra suede. Storage is underneath. Ahead and to starboard is an entertainment center with a grill, sink and trash receptacle, ice maker, refrigerator, and open counter space. A stainless rail wraps around for safety while underway. To port is L-shaped seating wrapping around a teak pedestal table with stainless beverage holders integrated into the center. To both sides of the cockpit are side curtains adding protection. Overhead is a hardtop extending partway across the aft deck with a fixed awning extending past that. Since the 575 SUV transitions so well to fishing, this aft deck is where the bulk of that activity will, of course, take place. Rod holders are conveniently located along the cap rails, and a glass-fronted ice chest to the port side of the transom can be optioned out for a live well. Notice how the fingers are spared during closing. A huge fish box is located in the deck. There's a 9-inch elevated forward mezzanine seating typical of an offshore sport fish yacht that includes refrigerated storage for keeping our catch iced. Spreader lights and camera are overhead. Just inside the galley, rod storage is overhead. Stairs to both sides lead to the side deck, and there's more entertainment to be had at the bow. The side decks measure 14 inches wide and rails come up to 26 inches. And we're happy to see that Riviera includes grab handles along both sides of the cabin for additional safety. At the trunk cabin are a pair of sun pads measuring 7 feet 8 inches in length, and they're flanked by grab rails with integrated beverage holders. We'd like to see these flip up in a chaise lounge position for relaxing at any time the 575 SUV is not underway. As we return, I again appreciate the placement of grab handles. 2 steps take us up to the sliding glass door with stainless frame. A window alongside the door opens upwards to combine the inside with the outside and make a seamless transition to the galley, centrally located between the 2 main deck gathering areas. The U-shaped galley features Korean counters, and I'd like to see a raised edge. Behind is a single basin stainless steel sink with a cover that serves as a cutting board. A drying area alongside channels water back into the sink. A trash receptacle is to the right. Below are drawers with positive locks and soft close sliders. Cooking takes place in one location with the Miele cooktop and convection oven conveniently located. Riviera didn't forget the vent fan and light. More storage is to the front, including this convenient pull-out shelving. Overhead is more storage, and notice the matching grain to the gloss-finished woodwork. To the starboard side, the galley components continue with storage and open counter space. Below is more storage as well as refrigerated drawers. And take a look at this storage space just as we step up to the salon. The salon is comfortable and well laid out with opposing seating. To port is an L-shaped sofa that wraps around the high-low pedestal table with flip-out leaves. Storage drawers are beneath. Decking is high-quality manufactured flooring. To the starboard side is another L-shaped settee and an ottoman with storage beneath. A 40-inch TV is on an electrically actuated lift and swivel mount just behind, making it easily viewable from the salon. The entertainment center components are concealed just ahead to starboard. One of the key features of the Riviera brand is the visibility out the huge windows that surround the main deck. Storage for convenience items is just behind the sofa. Opening windows are to both port and starboard. A pair of electrically actuated sunroofs are overhead. There's attractive wood accenting the LED lighting, and notice the stainless steel grab rail running the length of the overhead, an essential characteristic of any true cruising boat. Now let's take a look at her accommodations down below, where we have a 3-stateroom, 2-head layout. We'll start with the full beam master just aft of the companionway. Hull side windows to both sides add light to the stateroom, with headroom measuring 6 feet 3 inches. The berth is 6 feet 8 inches by 5 feet 10 inches and surrounded by high gloss woodwork and subdued lighting. A TV is to the forward bulkhead. To port is a settee providing a relaxing view out the window. A chest of drawers is just ahead. Storage is above. There's intricate backlit woodwork at the headboard, and here's an interesting storage solution. To the opposite side, there's the hanging locker, additional storage, and a walk-in closet. And to the port side, there's the ensuite head. It features a Corian counter. Again, we'd like to see a raised edge. There's an opening port light, and all of them on this level are connected to sensors that alert the helm when they're open. There's storage behind a mirrored cabinet. The towel rack is above the porcelain head, and the walk-in shower has a teak and holly seat, and the entire head is fully fiberglass lined. Here's another good time to notice the fit and finish. All edges are rounded, cranes are all matched, and the gloss finish is mirror smooth. Hinges are all recessed into the doors and into themselves. Now, as we come out of the master, there's a washer under the stairs and a dryer just across. Forward is the VIP, and I like how the door opens flush into a recess in the bulkhead. 6-foot 4-inch ceilings and an island berth measuring 6-foot 9-inch by 5-foot 1-inch, accessible via 2 steps to both sides, make up the focal points of this stateroom. Riviera makes good use of space by adding storage over the hull side windows ahead of the usual hanging locker. Below are drawers, and another hanging locker is to the opposite side. More drawers are beneath the berth. A small shelf is just under both windows. Fit and finish-wise, we're seeing the same quality woodwork with the backlit headboard. There's private access to the head that includes a separate entrance, allowing it to also serve as a shared head with the guest stateroom, as well as being a day head for the main deck. Lastly, the guest stateroom is just across, and it features a set of over-under berths in fixed positions. Now let's take a look at some of the operational features before we get around the water for a test. To the forward bulkhead in the cockpit are the emergency bilge pumps and the main power panel with the battery switches, so we can turn on the power before even entering the 575 SUV. Just inside is the CZone touchscreen that allows controllability of all the yacht's electrical components, as well as tank readouts and generator/shore power control. We can also turn the whole boat off with just one switch when closing up the 575, and this also leaves the air conditioning on to keep mold and mildew under control. The helm console is located to the port hand side, and it's an intricate blend of form and functionality. The glass dash concept is the focal point of this modern-looking operating station, with a triple set of 16-inch displays providing integrated information between map, sonar, radar, gauges, and switches. Being completely surrounded by glass, the heat and air conditioning vent just above is a welcome addition, even with the 2-foot brow over the windshield providing shade. To the left side of the wheel is the bow thruster joystick, the CAT digital engine controls, and the Humphrey electronic trim tabs just behind. Further behind, we're happy with the location of the remote control for the 16-inch displays, and equally within reach are the autopilot controls and windshield wiper/washers. All the way to the rear of the port hand panel is the CAT engine monitor, and since all of the pertinent information is displayed on the glass panel just ahead, this remote location for this display makes sense. Just between the helm station and the side window is a small storage area that's ideal for binoculars and quick grab items. To the right-hand side of the steering wheel is the windlass control and another CZone switching panel. A cubby to the right-hand side of the dash makes a great place for putting cell phones, as it also includes an accessory plug and USB connectivity. A drink holder is just alongside. With such huge windows, we're happy to see defroster vents, and notice how the fit and finish continues with the basket weave upholstery and leather with double stitching. Now this is cool. A push button just ahead of the digital engine controls is used to activate the optional yacht controller, which allows remote connectivity between the main engines and the bow thruster. But more on that as we get into the docking segment. Evidence of this being an ideal couples cruising boat is the addition of the second seat at the helm station. Both seats are Pomponette Platinum Series seats, upholstered in leather. Each one includes flip-down armrests and full adjustability, including recline. Just ahead is a convenient footrest. The engine room is accessed from a hatch in the cockpit. Inside, there's all-around access to the twin CAT engines with shaft drives. Pod drive engines are offered as an option. Fuel tanks are to both sides and have sight tubes for a quick visual on the levels. Above is a Delta T demisting system that takes salt spray out of the air to reduce engine room corrosion, and alongside is a Cruise Air water chiller air conditioning system. Sea strainers are just over the bilge pumps. House and engine start batteries are all contained in ventilated boxes just over the shaft drives. The 17.5 kilowatt generator is in a sound shroud, and we noticed how all the through-hull fittings are bonded for active corrosion protection. In the cockpit deck are 2 hatches over a single compartment leading to more of the mechanical components. Inside are bilge pump access, the steering gear, water tanks, the Glendenning cord rail, and the hydraulic pump for the swim platform. To the stern quarters, notice how the chafing gear is built into the molded corners and leads to the vertically mounted cleats. Drains at the bottom and the electrical connections are here as well, which keeps them well out of the trip zone. At the bow, a vertically mounted windlass leads to a pulpit-mounted anchor roller. A safety cable is fitted to prevent accidental deployment. A latch mechanism takes the load off the windlass gears to hold the anchor when it is deployed. 13-inch cleats are to both sides. A hatch to the starboard side provides storage along with road access. To port is line storage along with the freshwater washdown connections and the windlass remote control. When it's time to make a transition under a low bridge, the optional power antennas lay down at the touch of a button. Now let's take a look at the test numbers. The Riviera 575 SUV has a length overall of 60 feet 8 inches, a beam of 16 feet 10 inches, and a draft of 5 feet 1 inch. With an empty weight of 60,400 pounds, 71% fuel, and 4 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 67,116 pounds. With the twin 1,000 horsepower 12.9 cat engine spooled up to 2,300 RPM, we reached our top speed of 28.8 knots. Best cruise came in at 1750 RPM and 19.1 knots. At that speed, the 53.5 gallon per hour fuel burn translated into 0.4 nautical miles per gallon and a range of 340.2 nautical miles, while still holding back a 10% reserve of the boat's 1,057 gallon total fuel capacity. Riviera seems adept at not only creating good performing hulls, but also in their weight distribution of equipment. For this reason, the 575 SUV accelerates with minimal bow rise and transitions quickly into her 5-degree bow height cruise attitude with no loss of visibility to the horizon. She has a solid feel of a much larger boat, and while we had calm conditions on our test day, crossing back and forth across our self-generated wakes showed some interesting characteristics. When shouldering into the waves, which should bring out the worst, she simply rode up and over with little effect. There was no hull slap or spray coming off the windshield, and we barely felt the transition inside the boat. As we transitioned back across the backside of the waves, she would throw the spray low and wide, again with little effect being felt from inside. She has a gentle roll into the turns that guests will find comfortable and will counter the effects of even a heavy-handed test captain. Now, as for docking, that optional portable yacht controller makes it a breeze. Turn it on and activate it from that button at the helm, and we can stand anywhere on the boat and manage both the main engines and the bow thruster with this one remote control. And the 575 is impressively responsive to even the lightest touch. I recommend using it with the controller always oriented to the boat at all times, so when you turn around, turn the controller around so it's still facing forward. That keeps the control always facing the right way and prevents backward inputs. Other than that, this is my first time using it, and as you can see, it's great. She's among the easiest boats I've maneuvered, and talk about being able to operate short-handed. Well, without a doubt, this capable cruiser provides all the amenities of a convertible sportfish while keeping everything on a single level, all combined with the ease of operation that makes it attractive for a cruising couple on an extended voyage. In fact, when we were through with our test, her new owners were doing exactly that, and we wish them well on their trip of a lifetime. And that's our full sea trial and features inspection of the 575 SUV from Riviera. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.